And it's just really like from God how we found all these guys. They just came to us, or a friend referred them, or just like they just appeared, and that's how we kind of found and kind of formulated our tech team.
That's kind of how I met you guys.
Yeah, with Ray. Ray is also one of those
very old friend of mine, good guy.
Those guys who just came along. Like he just came along. We met him. None of our guys knew him. We just met him for a couple of times. We showed him the deck, like what we show everyone, pitched him the vision, and then he ended up investing, and now he's the head of our investor relations. So he's a great, very, very, essential guy that helps promote us and gets us in the room with the right people.
What I've noticed is when something is destined for greatness, there's nothing you can do to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. When you know something is special, things fall into place. You know what I mean? You just feel this forward momentum. Obviously, you have to work. I'm not saying you don't have to work. Yeah. As you're working and you're on the path to creating this big vision, things fall into place because it's such a big vision that people that align with that vision get attracted to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's also what we do. Before we even hire anyone, or before we even even after meeting them for the first or second time, we love to just get them on a call and show them, our deck, or just a little bit more about us, and kind of pitch them the vision and where we're going. Because where we were 4 years ago to where we are now is a night and day difference. And then where we are now and where we're going to be in the next 4 years is going to be a completely, huge night and day difference as well. So we just like to showcase the vision, showcase where we're going, showcase the team behind it, and kind of what we've accomplished and then what we plan to accomplish. And that's how we get people along. We have people who work for us who don't even take a salary, who don't even take even shares. They just want to prove themselves, like, hey, I just want to work for you guys. You guys can compensate me later. I know you guys are good people. Just let me show you what I could do. And then eventually, if I provide value, I know you guys will take care of us. And actually, no one on our team, Net, Dre, and I, we're all the co-founders, and no one on our executive team takes a salary. I haven't made $1 from LinkMe.
Net told me.
The past 4 years, I haven't made $1. I probably lost money, like spending it in the beginning before we had investors, like on the kind of content shoots and all these other stuff that we had to do in the beginning. I'm probably in negative dollars from LinkMe. So no one on our team takes a salary, and then our kind of board and our executive team, besides us three, all invested to have their positions. So they put a big check to be in that position. And then obviously our developers, they take 50% salary and 50% shares, because all of them really truly believe in LinkMe, and they're already also working for like much lower rates than they should get. And when the time comes, we're going to make sure these guys are, Net always says his goal is to make everyone who on the executive, not executive, on the core founding tech team, a millionaire just by the shares of LinkMe. So that's our goal. These are our family. Like without them, we're nothing. So they're really important in our journey.
That's a huge principle there, because a lot of what you're seeing now is more than ever people are starting to see that companies aren't really invested in them. And you're seeing a lot of people shift from being an employee to wanting to start their own thing, maybe be a solopreneur, entrepreneur, something self-employed, something like that. So it's good to see that you guys are founding a company where you really want to take care of your people. It's not common at all. Take it from somebody who was, I've been the entrepreneur that runs the company, and I've been the employee as well. A lot of companies out here, they see their employees as liabilities, and a lot of people don't understand that the people that take 8 hours out of their day or 10 hours out of the day, how many hours it is to come work for you, they need to be your biggest asset.
Yeah, they're all great people. They're incredible, and we're going to, once we go big and everything is taken care of, they're all going to be taken care of as well. As you can see with Facebook and all these other big companies, I'm not sure if you know the story with the painter at Facebook. He was like very early on in Facebook, like in their first office. One of the guys wanted to paint like a big mural on the Facebook wall, like the F and like a cool like design. And the painter, they said, would you want to have shares or do you want to have like 50,000 in cash? And the painter like thought about it. He's like, I'll take the shares. And he went to jail for like a couple of years. And when he got out, those shares were worth over $400 million. Maybe $200 million, but it was in the hundreds of millions. You guys could figure it out.
That's a crazy story.
It's happened a lot of times. Also, like when they were for getting one of their other offices, Facebook, like in the early days, instead of paying rent, they said, hey, can we give you shares for the next 12 months or whatever? And the lady said no. And maybe she would have got like $100K in rent. And those shares, I think, were also a couple $100 million. So we're going to give all our founding team has shares. And that's one of Net's biggest goals, is to make sure that they all walk away at the end, whenever the end is, millionaires, very taken care of for the rest of their life. So that's one of our big kind of principles that we're going to abide by.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I told Net that I see the vision. I wholeheartedly see the vision, and this could be the very next big thing. I think it can be.
Like, listen, it takes a lot of hard work, making as little mistakes as possible, learning from others' mistakes that, already happened, learning from the past, and, make sure it doesn't kind of affect us. And just one mistake could lead to failure.
Yeah.
One mistake, but 100 things could go right, and you could, see success. So it's all about minimizing those mistakes. That's really what it comes down to for me, at least.
I'm an optimist at my core, so I love 100 things could go right. I love that.
Yeah, I'm also an optimist, and
super.
My grandpa always says, like, you're the most, like, I'm a big Eagles fan. Like, that's one of my passions, like, just football. I love football and Eagles fans. And when I was growing up, I always say, like, no, trust me, it's going to be all right. Even when we're down 2 touchdowns, I would say, no, we're going to come back. We're going to get a pick. We're going to get a fumble. We're going to score. And every time I'm with him when we watch the games, he's like, you're always such an optimist. You always think we're going to, we're going to win. We're going to do good. And that's also how my philosophy in life, just like go with the flow and just, God got me, and I'm going to make the right decisions, and good things will happen. So that's how I just lead my life as well.
You gotta have that vision, man.
Yeah. Also, like we were talking about with JC before, like the law of attraction is also a really real thing. If you think negative thoughts all the time and you're thinking negative and depression and all this stuff, that's what you're going to end up in. But if you think about positive stuff, what the future looks like, all the good things that are going on, and just be thankful for just being alive, another breath, having food, all the basic things, you'll see some success, and it'll compound, and you'll see, more good things happen to you.
For sure. I'm a big believer in you can't focus on where you are. You have to focus on where you want to be.
For sure.
I actually take time out of my day, and I post it in my stories. I write in my journal every day. I write at least one page. I have a couple different journals. This journal that I'm talking to you about it's my Future Truth journal. Got it. So I write one page every day in this journal, and I envision myself on where I'm going to be on September 19th. Of 2025 or 2026, and I write out my day of what I did that day. So
yeah, that's interesting.
The mind, I get my mind primed to zero in on that frequency, because your mind, I've read, and people that are much smarter than I am, they say that your mind doesn't know the difference between what you imagine and what's actually happening. Yeah. So I try to lock into that frequency of the life I want every day for at least 15 to 20 minutes when I'm writing in that journal.
Yeah, for sure.
Super cool stuff.
Yeah, that's really cool. I haven't like you do it very in detail what you explain, so it's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's great.
Thanks. I try to always I'm big on vision. That's why I love LinkMe, because I am a person that I love painting the vision. When I speak to people and I talk about things, I love painting the vision of what it can be or what it's going to be. Not what it is right now. Yeah. Because there's a short story I like to refer to. A guy and his friend walk up to an empty lot. There's nothing there. There's a bunch of grass. It's overgrown. He tells his friend, "What do you see?" His friend says, "I see a bunch of grass." And he says, "That's the difference between you and me. You see an empty grass.
I see a hotel. I could build all this stuff.
Yes.
I could build residential. I could build all this. I could build up 50 stories, all this stuff." Yes. I can see it.
That's the difference. You got to have vision. And my vision for myself and the vision that I have for my future is so strong. You can't even convince me that I'm not living it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, that's why I take my hat off to you guys, because you've been able to paint the vision. And I'm all about it. I really, really like what you guys are doing. The branding, everything. It's a great product. You guys are good people. I've met you guys personally now. I like you guys as a team. It's everything you're doing is amazing.
It's funny also, just like something that just came to my mind with like the vision. This is like something random, but I just wanted to say it just so it's on the record somewhere in the future. When we were first doing our first fundraising round, it was a $20 million valuation. And one kid we knew from like our neighborhood, like our area, said like he was like bringing us, like he has some like rich friends, and we were going to try to talk to him, and we had a meeting with them, and they're like, if you could raise $1 on a $20 million valuation, I'll give you my kidney. And we ended up raising over $800,000 on that.
Did he give you his kidney?
No, he didn't give it. But I definitely want to go back and if I need a kidney, I want to get that from him.
That's crazy. If you could raise $1,
Yeah.
that's terrible. Yo, I love haters.
Yeah.
Haters are your elevators. Haters, they're showing you that you're on the right path. You know what I mean? Because people who are doing nothing, no one's hating on them.
Yeah, you're right, for sure. Believe it or not, when I was in I think when I was in high school, I had a lot more haters than now. Because now I'm just like in my own lane. Like I don't really I have a lot of acquaintances, but friends, my circle is really small. So I don't really talk with a lot of people. I see them online. And if I see them in person, I'll definitely we'll have a good time. But I'm not really caught up in all the gossip and stuff. So I think in high school I had a lot more, because I was always an entrepreneur. I never, did what everyone else was doing. I was working, I was grinding, I was doing all my just learning. And I guess in high school I had a lot more people talking about me and stuff than now. I'm just more of even if they are, I don't know. So that's just how it is for me today.
That's called focus, bro. And focus is lost nowadays. Focus is an art.
Yeah.
Focus is a lost skill, and that right there is why things are gonna go well, because you're Net's doing the same thing from what I've seen. You guys are able to zero in.
Yeah.
And the amount of work you're able to put in when you have that amount of focus between people in alignment, you, him, your team, when everyone's putting in that massive amount of effort and that hard work, and you guys all have the same vision and you're all aligned, you're gonna create a powerhouse, man.
Yeah, that's what we do, and that's where I one of my best skills is my discipline, and I guess my focus also is where I'm able to excel. Because Net has ADHD, so he's always all over the place. He could be he's bouncing around. He's on his phone and you're talking with him and he won't even listen. You have to go and slap him in the face for him to even listen. I could be next to him and saying, "Yo, Net." He still wouldn't know, so I have to actually move him and stuff. So that's where I'm really useful in this team.